Hi guys, another funny thing from the Marvels, I would say more of embarrassing thing is this movie budget was around $270 million in gross, you could say $220 million net, I don't know the difference, but if you saw this movie, you would think it was not $220 million budget. It wasn't very convincing. I wasn't convinced that this movie took place in space, on the other planet. In the whole movie, I thought, well, the entire movie they took front of green screens. And that's bad for $220 million budget movie. And I would like to compare this movie with this Thanksgiving. I just watched this movie yesterday. This say in theater November 17, but in my country, it was just in the theater a few days ago. I don't know why. And I don't know anything about this movie before. I didn't watch the trailer, not even watch the teaser. I only saw the poster, which was not even this version. It was just a dish and yellow lighting and the movie title, which make me think, At that time I thought, well, this movie might be about thriller, might be a thriller movie. Maybe because my country, there have been so many censorship going on, so they couldn't use this version, the guy with an axe. However, well, I would not spoil you, but as you can see just by the look of the poster, you could say this movie about slasher film. This movie is kinda a scream movie with another name. So I watched this movie, didn't have any expectation, but it blew my mind because it was way better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be just another B tier movie, but it was, I don't know, it was very good considering their budget. Their budget was only $15 million. $15 million, directed by Eli Roth. He is the director that directed Hostel, if you remember Hostel. And then after I watched this movie, I think the production of this movie was better than the Marvels, which have almost 20 times budget than this film. I don't know why, and that made me so confused. How the Marvel spent $270 million and got this quality? Where did they spend $270 million? On who? On what? They could not spend a lot on the cast because not many of them are an A-list celebrity. Park Seo-joon, this was his first blockbuster movie in Hollywood, I believe, because he is a Korean guy that made a name for himself from Korean Netflix series, so he is a new star and his screen time was not even that much. He got maybe around 10 minutes in the movie, so his contract wouldn't be very expensive. Miss Marvel actress, she was very good in this movie, her acting. But I don't believe they spent that much money on her because Miss Marvel as a series was a flop and Miss Marvel was not very famous yet. I don't believe that her contract would be expensive. And next is the girl who played Monica Rambeau. No way her contract would be very expensive. Then Darben, I don't know her before, so no way they could be expensive. The only actress that Marvel would spend a lot of money would be Brie Larson. Obviously, she is very famous. A lot of people don't like her, but you could not deny that she is not famous. You couldn't deny that she is famous, sorry. Because she won an Oscar from the movie called Room or something, I don't remember. It was about the girl that was abducted to the basement and lived there for 10 years and also had a daughter with the guy who abducted her. So she won an Oscar, played Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel made $1 billion in revenue, so maybe they pay a lot of money for Brie Larson. Even though she hasn't been fans' favorite in the last 5 years since the Avengers Infinity War, because as we all know, her behavior in front of the camera was not very impressive. But however, well, I would like to say she has been better, and I think people gave her too much hate. I think she learned her mistake. But however, I don't see that Marvel would have to pay a lot of money on their cast. Maybe they have spent a lot on the CGI, which would be very funny for me because the CGI was not that level. Obviously not $270 million level, not $200 million level, not even $100 million level. I could say it was $50 million level. If they spend $50 million on CGI, that would be more reasonable. I don't know, maybe they spent a lot on marketing, which, well, in a way it worked because this movie, although they had a lot of criticism, they made almost $2 million in revenue, but still a loss because when the movie went to the theater, the revenue would be split. Half that would go to the theater, another half would go to the studio. So technically, Marvel would get only $100 million with $220 million in budget, so they are now $120 million at loss. But they still make money. A lot of people showed up because if you compare this to Thanksgiving, they spent $50 million. The movie, I would say, a lot better than the Marvels because the Marvels, they try to make movie for kids now, and the story is a lot more convincing. Thanksgiving took place in a small town. There were scenes in school, in the mall, in a house, on the street, and that's most of it. Maybe the fact they film this movie on actual places make a lot more believable because the Marvel, obviously they could not film the movie in the space or on the other planet. That would be very expensive, but I don't know, the CGI was not very good. But however, even though Thanksgiving was a very good movie and they spent not much money on that, they still made only $36 million worldwide, which consider a profit that is already a lot better than the Marvels because the Marvels lost $120 million from making this movie. So technically, if you just not doing anything, you would have more money than making the Marvels. Thanksgiving with $50 million budget, $36 million revenue, split half of that to the theaters, they would got $80 million. So that would be $3 million in profit for the studio that made this movie, which is TriStar Pictures. That is even a lot better than the Marvels. You have $3 million more in your wallet. And that's all, guys. I don't know what happened to the Marvels. Why did the quality is not match the budget? There have been some some conspiracy about Marvel in the last few years that they have been trying very hard to be more diverse in their workplace, also on the camera, so they have to have very diverse crew and also very diverse actor and actress. Maybe they try to please Twitter people, woke people, that here we are now diverse. We have a lot of diversification. What the word? Diversity. We have a lot of diversity. Don't cancel us. We are now politically correct. I don't know, maybe it is the work of people inside the Marvel. There have been the rumors that they try to replace current people in the company with their own people that have the same agenda, the woke agenda, but they don't consider the competent. They don't consider that those woke people that they have been hiring are competent enough. So I would like to say it was all rumors. We couldn't confirm it. It was kind of a conspiracy that people in Marvel or also in film industries as a whole in Hollywood, they have this woke loud people and try to replace current staff with their own people that have the same agenda. And because they don't consider their skill, how incompetent they were, they hire incompetent people that have woke mindset. So things went downhill after that. Maybe they pay a lot of money for the people that don't actually have abilities to do anything. Like, I don't know, CGI people, they might be paid a lot of money, but they couldn't actually do their job. Maybe cameraman, director, also one of the people that is under a lot of criticism. And that's all, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.